Hello YouTube, welcome back to The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus, with me Flik and my Twitch audience, and Eden, on hard. Thank you Alana, for 18 months in a row, that's second Twitch baby time. Oh, I'm Princess Leia with a keyhole in my face. And low HP. 18 months come and gone, still don't regret it in any way, shape or form, thank you again. Here's to many more. Also, I hope there's a second Twitch baby name, Little Sora. I named our Twitch baby Sora. Needs company, and where's that alimony check? Our second Twitch baby name will be Roxas then, because that's just too fitting. And thank you Regent for 13 months in a row. Meep meep to you too, Roadrunner. Meep meep. Overwatch? No, not Overwatch. I very nearly uninstalled it the other day. Because I was like, do I need the Blizzard launcher? Should I not just get rid of it? N7QZ YJ is the seed. Don't get too attached though, because our HP is bad. As is our luck now. Fire rate's good. Damage is good. I feel like I'm talking a bit too loudly. Hang on. Let's turn the game down a little bit. You weren't hearing it loud, but I was hearing it a bit loud. Obviously, we started with Skeleton Key. We've got Book of Secrets. And that's it. The extra bonus damage we have and fire rate are just Eden stats. That's why we have bad HP and bad luck and speed. Shot speed, rather. Although our base speed is pretty low too. It's not 1.5, it's 1.13. Hello Shiro. So yeah, the thing I alluded to in the title, today we had our first snowfall. Yeah, don't get too attached to the run. Because it might be over real quick thanks to a bad trip pill. And exploding spiders. We had our first snow of the run. The snow of the run. Isaac has rotted my brain. The snow of the winter season. And I posted some pictures on Twitter if you're curious. Of sort of just getting a light dusting of snow. It came on much heavier after I took those pictures. Although thankfully it hasn't like kept on the whole day. It's still been very cold though. Either way, point is I'm assuming the weather is to blame, but I caught my internet reconnecting itself for the first time in a long time that I know of. It hasn't done that for a while. It has done it, but never when I've been awake, so it's like happened overnight and junk. And sadly, not to bring back the demon that was BT, my upload dropped from like 15.3 to 8.7, which is a pretty steep drop, and I have tried refreshing it a couple of times since then and it hasn't made any difference. Oh, let's go back and try and save our lives. Is 8.7 up like unworkable? No. It's much better than BT at its worst, although it could technically still get worse. So it's workable, and I guess even if it did get as bad as BT was at its absolute worst, at least we have Tabletop Sim now to kind of give us an option that isn't just golf and nothing else at barely 1 meg upload. So I'm very disappointed because my internet has reset itself before. I've never caught it happening. But on those occasions, the upload got better. Like, I remember seeing my upload at 17 at one point. I'm hoping that maybe just the bad weather did something, or maybe like there's a damaged line or something like that, and it'll just kind of sort itself. If it doesn't, I mean, right now it's still managing to keep my 6000 KB bitrate, which I'm surprised at, honestly. Although if we were to play something a bit more graphically intense, I imagine we'd probably have to lower the stream bitrate. Because usually, in general, Twitch suggests you aim for like half your upload as a maximum. As long as you don't exceed 6. Although I was at 6.5, but don't tell Twitch. They say they want to aim for 6. Thank you TBC Tainted Tap Water for 29 months in a row with Twitch Prime. Have I tried unplugging the snow and plugging it back in? Yes. I have yet to successfully kill the snow, but I will find a way. And when I do, winter will be doomed. Speed up. Not what we wanted. This run is not particularly great beyond having all the keys. So that was the kind of sucky thing that only happened like just after midday today, so it wasn't something I had to deal with on my day off. Sadly, I don't know if I've got a cold or if it's something I ate or whatever. My IBS has been acting up again, and I'm in quite a bit of discomfort yet again as I sit here. Got really bad yesterday when I was shopping again. I was waiting to pay for my groceries for the week. No, I Americanized myself by saying groceries and not messages. And I just suddenly felt, you know, that telltale abdominal pain, and then all of a sudden just felt very sick. And it hasn't really stopped since then. Ooh, why not? Make a bad run worse. So it was not a pleasant day off. I didn't get nearly as much done as I wanted to. I've been still trying to find the time and effort to record that most recent battle report. Haven't managed that because I just thought I felt like if I did it, I'd just be like rushing through it or not having fun if I tried to do it while not feeling well. Yes, this run is awful. My reflection will make it better. He lied. Yeah, now I just need soy milk and it'll be the best run ever. What was I saying? Oh yeah, rubbish day off. So I painted some models and I watched some stuff on Netflix. But on the plus side, that does mean I have crap to talk about because I watched stuff on the Netflix. Hello Marley and anyone else who came in while I was yammering. So I'm trying to think if there's any other more relevant news before I start just talking about the things I watch on Netflix. Let's see. This room is especially bad if you have my reflection because the range is needed. Gemini, please go after the things that... I don't know if that will have done a full heart or not. Guess we'll find out the hard way. Boy, I wish I had some coins. Hello, Shady. Also, chat, just in general, those of you coming in late, we're just kind of also generally discussing what you would like me to stream in part 2 and or 3 of the stream tonight. Why am I not seeing the secret rooms? Because with Resident Evil and the Anthem VIP demo and then Kingdom Hearts after that, these are all things I'm looking forward to trying, so my motivation to play other things is a little low, coupled with not feeling great. It's giving me a skewed viewpoint on what you would want to watch. Dark Souls board game part 2. Oh yeah, for anyone who wasn't here on Sunday, if you watched like only the start of the VOD, or not at all I guess, we tried out the Dark Souls miniature game in Tabletop Sim, just kind of like learning the rules. Then we did like 2 full games of 4 Souls. After that though, we went back to the Dark Souls board game and played the first half of a scenario. Ooh, that's a good aim. Meaning that we, well, Valinar and I, because Evil Vice President and CR didn't want to play anything too close to... I don't have enough health to take this, do I? No, I do. Please, 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 please. Okay, I might be on 1 health, but we had enough to take it. I'm going to check the secret room. Valinar and I played through the first half of a sequence where you kill a mid-boss, and then we saved it so we can carry on where we left off. No, I'm not touching those. And next time we can go after a proper boss, which is much harder. And it was fun. It's very jarring to try and get into because the rules are not well written for the Dark Souls miniature game. Oh, Curse of the Unknown again, although I'm pretty sure it's 1. But once we kind of got the hang of it, and at the end of the day, it's a cooperative game. Why did I use that? So, even if you house roll stuff, it's fine because it's you against the AI, essentially. In the case of fighting bosses, literally, because they have an AI deck. And it works pretty well in Tabletop Sim as well. Not as good as the 4 Souls mod we use, but pretty nice. Ah! My mom's knife, it's very sick. This is obviously the run where we finally earn that clutch magic mush. Or we lose all of our keys and gain a bunch of bombs. I guess that's kind of what I was meaning. Oh dear. Anyway, I need to distract myself from the run so it goes better. Although now we did see where our secret room is this time. Revengefly is great. If we had enough HP to last the hit it would take to spawn it. But we don't. Wow, not a single payout, huh? Even Temesis. So anyway, on to the most important thing that I talk about when I play Isaac, which is, of course, what did I waste my time watching on Netflix? I watched a documentary. I watched... Oh, that's a lot of money. I watched a series, and I think that's it. I'll start with the documentary because it makes me sound smart, even though it was not a particularly interesting, like, riveting documentary. It was no Staircase or Master... I don't have any keys now. Or Evil Genius or whatever else the other ones were called. Sora's doing fine. Yeah, she's off her food now and then, but that's just the way she is. Oh, actually, no. You know what? Before Netflix, I have a funny Sora story just about like how weird she is. With the weather being a lot colder recently, I decided that I would shut the... I guess they'd just be called blinds, but they're kind of like plasticky blinds in my bathroom. Because I felt like they might keep... Jesus. They might keep the heat in a little bit better. And before anyone says it, no, I didn't have like a big open window when I was in the bath or shower. It's fogged glass or whatever it's called, so nobody could see in it anyway if they could somehow get to the second floor of a... Yeah, I want my keys back. Of a house. So I just had that. I should have used a bomb here to get that bomb first. Or free that bomb, rather. So anyway, I decided to close those, and Sora was kind of sleeping on my bed at the time, I believe. And then when she got up to see what I was doing and she heard it, she freaked the fuck out. She just did not like that there was something covering a window that had not prior been covering a window. She started crying, she backed up, she wouldn't go near it. She jumped on my bed and just whined and moaned to herself about how horrible it was. Human, there's a thing that wasn't there before. And then I went into the bath and she kind of creeped past at some point, and then I heard her sitting on my office chair just crying to herself for the rest of the evening. And she didn't stop until I closed the bathroom door so she couldn't see it anymore, and then she kind of forgot about it. But she was just... It's not like it made a super loud noise that scared her, incidentally, because she wasn't there when I was doing it. It was... She was terrified that something was not as it was before. Change is terrifying to her, and she's really good at spotting it as well. Yes, change is bad. I mean, I agree with her, but I wish rather I wouldn't put her in such a state. Gemini, please don't do it. Because she just did not enjoy that at all. She's fine with it now, incidentally. She might kind of glance at it every so often, but she doesn't care. Because she can't handle, like, anything. It's amazing how similar we are. She is me in dog form, but not in the furry kind of way. Oh, finally red HP. Your sister's dog rather had that ordeal with a humidifier. Does Sora have OCD? Maybe PTSD. But still... Oh, we had a lot more HP than I thought we did. Still, I need the little idiot to, like, not be that way. Other than that, she's doing okay, though. I just have to remember never to open or close curtains in her presence. Because she will not enjoy that. One bit. I must admit, it was kind of funny, though. Just that she was so terrified of curtains that used to always... Like, it wasn't that I put them up or anything. They were always there. It's just they were open. So she didn't understand that the little pull string did that. And she just... Her little brain just could not handle it. Yoink. Hello, Grid. It's Evil Vice President's cameo for this run. So anyway, back to the Netflix stuff. The documentary I watched is called... I think it's called Fyre, the best event that never happened, or something like that. And it's about the failed Fyre festival from late 2016, early 2017. I remember seeing all the tweets about it when it happened, which I'm sure anyone here did if they used Twitter around that time, or apparently it was mostly on Instagram as well, but I always saw I saw the famous tweet of the so-called gourmet meal, and it was just a slice of cheese and bread in a box. I remember that very vividly. But if you somehow missed it, the Fyre Festival was this thing set up by a rapper and his sleazy businessman friend to kind of promote a new company they had to book talent easier for events. And they had this brilliant idea of buying/renting an island in the Bahamas and selling premium tickets to millennials with lots of money and making bank, and then also getting promotion at the same time and using like influencers and such like. And the documentary just goes into like the background stuff. The guy who's running it is a compulsive liar, exceptionally sleazy. That was satisfying. And just knew the right thing to say to extort money out of people. Yeah, the documentary did also cover the schadenfreude that people enjoyed at the expense of the millennials being like, yeah, I would spend $75,000 to go to a private island for a single concert. So there was a lot of that, but if you saw the conditions themselves, it's like, it's not fair, even if it is a little funny. It does get a bit more bleak, though. Like, the people on the island that got conned into working for this guy, they had to spend a lot of money covering like stuff he eventually did not pay them for, like catering and things like that. And apparently some people got hits put out on them as well. So there is a side to it that isn't funny. But it's amazing, like, one person BSing could get like 30 million to invest in a crappy festival thing. Like Woodstock for millennials is kind of what they were going for, I think. But the festival did not happen, if you're not aware. People went to the island, they found that there was no accommodation. The island wasn't even the same one that was advertised because they weren't allowed to use it eventually, so they just had to go to a normal one. They used disaster relief tents instead of the planned housing they were supposed to have. They delivered the people's luggage in the back of a truck and then just dumped it out on the beach and said, find it. It was an amazing train wreck, yes, it was. Really, the best part of the documentary is watching someone get their comeuppance. Like, this is an asshole who just manipulated people. He almost convinced a friend who, like the old guy who's like working in PR, he said he went out to the island when the festival was supposed to be happening just to help, right? Because I'm pretty sure he specifically says, for anyone who's seen who has seen the documentary, he said he wasn't on the payroll. He just went out there to help. Also, we might still just like die. Yep, that's the kind of thing that happens. So he just went out there to help his friend because like he fell for his BS as much as anyone, and then was still willing to he was willing to go perform a sexual act in order to get clean water to the people who came to the island because there was no clean water. And this asshole who was running it all kind of phoned him up and said, hey, you need to go take one for the team. Can you like go suck this guy's penis so that he'll let us have the water that's waiting in customs? And he's so good at manipulating people, the guy was like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. And thankfully he didn't have to, he just managed to talk him out of it. No, it wasn't J. Roll, although he was the rapper involved. Let's try for a better start then. Nope. Guppy's paw. Nah. Hang on, I'll get back to talking about it in a second once we have a run that's interesting. This could be interesting. No, 17 tier rate. Nope. 8 tier rate. There's something a bit better, although... yeah, okay, that's not bad. We'll try this. 00PT PHKX. I was reading on the BBC News website today that Jaro, whatever, I don't care what he's called, he's as much a shyster as the other guy was, is now doing full damage control on Twitter, saying like he was conned as well. Documentaries can be edited to show a certain angle, but when there's footage of him saying, like, in a big conference call after the conference, what's the big fucking deal, no one died, how do we spin this? That's not the other guy manipulating him, that's him being an asshole. It's bizarre. Well, it's not bizarre, he's obviously, his name is now in tatters as well. Because he is seen throughout just having zero regard for the people. He's as much looking for the con, even if he wasn't taking part in the con. He just wanted the money. Hello, Sonic Meow. So the person responsible for conning the poor millennials who had too much money, he's in jail now. He is serving 6 years for fraud and a bunch of other stuff. As it turns out, like, he was cooking the books, he was lying about what his actual company was making, and he was using that as evidence for people to give him money for the stupid festival. So he was lying to everybody constantly. And in the documentary also, for what I don't understand why he did this, but kind of as he's in the court, or like his court case is happening, he gets his former friends to bring camera equipment to his apartment, and it shows it, and he's like, oh, if I've learned anything from this, it's that you have to record everything. So I'm like, okay, fine, what's he doing this for? And then he starts talking to his friend and convinces his friend to start using the user data they got from everybody who signed up to the Fyre festival to just spam them with other cons to steal more money from them. And for some reason he thought it was a good idea to film himself doing this. And I don't understand. So then some news reporter picked up on, like, oh hey, it's all Fyre festival people who went to it that are getting all these spam emails from the same person saying, hey, do you want to go to so-and-so an event? Call me and pay me. And they got him done on those charges as well. It's like, I don't understand. He comes across as intelligent because he's obviously very good at conning people, and then he does such incredibly dumbass things like that. It's like he's always looking for the next hustle, even if he's currently on trial for a hustle, and then currently in jail for a hustle. I didn't understand. It's a fun documentary. I would recommend watching it just to watch like how it happened. If you never even heard of the Fyre Festival, just know that it's a train wreck worth watching. It's amazing. It's not even everything that they do, it's just thing after thing happens. That aren't always them doing something. But yeah, it's fun watching it. It's like an hour and a half long on Netflix. Ooh, hello. So yes, it's a documentary, but it's not like it's a heavy documentary or anything. It's yet another chance to laugh at the people who went to the Fyre Festival, I suppose. The interesting angle in terms of like content creators and or influencers, as the people call us, which I hate as a title, but whatever. It does kind of deal with that angle because a lot of influencers were paid to promote without revealing that it was a paid promotion, and that kind of started the whole FTC thing of being like, you really have to say if you're sponsored when you do like an Instagram post or a YouTube video or etc., because if you don't and something like this happens again, you are partially culpable and breaking the law. So that angle is interesting as well if you're at all in content creation and just you're curious about that. It was mostly done on Instagram, but there was a little bit on Twitter and YouTube as well. At least that was my understanding, because they only ever got called influencers. It wasn't like they weren't called YouTubers and Instagrammers. I don't know. I'm not fully aware what Instagram is, honestly. So I watched that, and then I feel like I watched something else that was a one-off, but I don't remember what. So I decided to watch something that I had no idea what it was. The name just seemed interesting. And it's partially Canadian, so it's a little weird. I believe it's called Heavy Duty Rescue 401. I'm curious if anyone's heard of that, because I assume it's just off some TV channel in America. I've forgotten what that was. It's like Cain's Eye or something. Not Cain's Eye, Judas's Eye. So has anyone heard of Heavy Duty Rescue 401? Nope. Negative? Okay. Well, apparently it's a stretch of road like the 401, the 400 and the 402 south of Toronto in Canada, but it's just kind of like northeast-ish a bit of the border with America. And they get a lot of bad weather there, and it follows a bunch of different companies who, I guess it's like the tow truck equivalent of ambulance chasers. Like they compete with one another to get to the sites of wrecks, like people who crash in the snow and whatnot, to be the first one there, so the police get them to handle it and they get paid. And just kind of following a bunch of competing companies doing that, and the trials and tribulations of them kind of doing that in winter when the snow's at its worst, and the big crashes they have to sort out. Like, how do they get a gigantic truck that's skidded off the road and tipped over, how do they get that upright and off and safe? And I found it more interesting than I thought it would, because I'd never really questioned, like, yeah, if you see a wreckage like that, how do they clean that up if they want to try and maintain the vehicle and not just destroy it? And it's not just a case of, oh, they get a big crane and upright it. No, they have to use like 3 or 4 trucks at different angles, pulling different heights and different lengths, just to kind of gently tip a truck and then corkscrew it. It's kind of neat. There's also like an underlying message in it trying to encourage motorists to not be pricks. Because constantly they're talking about, when they're trying to do side of the road stuff, there's a law, at least in Canada, I don't know if it's in America, where if you see someone doing that kind of maintenance at the side of the motorway, you slow down and try and stay away, you change lane. And then just constantly, when they're doing their work, it's just cars speeding right past them. And they keep on like muttering and pointing out, oh look, there's more cars just coming right by us. And there's like dash cam footage and GoPro footage of cars just speeding right next to them while they're trying to work. All of them breaking the law. They might not necessarily know that they're breaking a law, but you would think that they'd have the common sense not to drive so close to the scene of an accident. My friend used to be a tow truck driver, knew 2 or 3 that were killed that he worked with. That's also something that happens in the show. Like, they go to a big funeral of one who was he was working the side of his truck, an accident, car was too close and just clipped him and killed him instantly. So it does definitely have this message of, like, if you're on the motorway, have some common sense. Especially in snowy, I was going to say snowy conditions. It doesn't focus too much on the bleak stuff. It's just, like, there's one episode where a guy goes to a funeral of a rival company owner whose son died like that. And then it's kind of brought up again now and then, just them pointing out again that anytime a car comes too close, it's like, oh, are they aware they're breaking the law? Do they not care? Are they stupid? Yeah, common sense isn't all that common. There's another one where, like, people are rubbernecking from the opposite end of the motorway or the other side, and the police are just kind of also there, and they're just kind of making hand gestures as politely as possible, given that they're on camera, being like, what are you doing, you idiots? And it shows a few of the cars almost skidding into each other just because they're wanting to stop and look at the accident. So there's only like 2 seasons of it on British Netflix. I'm on the last episode of season 1, I think. It's not that long, I think it's like 6 episodes. There's a second season, I'll watch it. It is an interesting and surprisingly dangerous job, being someone who's willing to rescue people. I also didn't realise that it was competitive. Like, I assumed there was just people who worked for the police to handle that stuff. Like, after the police process the accident and work out what happened, they just call in whatever company works for them. But I guess everything is a competition in America and or America Junior. Oh. So there's no set contracts. It's just if you turn up, if you're available, congratulations, you get to do it. Yes, America Junior. Look, it's very easy and safe to make fun of Canadians because they're so polite they won't do anything about it. It's like punching a kitten. So that's what I've been watching. That about sums up my day, because I wasn't bent double in pain, I was just very uncomfortable. Let's say that without going into too many gruesome details. Canada is America's hat. Yeah, that's fair. It's a nice hat. A little bit of snow on top. Or America is Canada's pants. Well, in that case, somebody should warn Canada because their pants are full of shit. That's not snow, it's dandruff. Oh. What have you been watching, chat? If you say my YouTube videos, I know you're lying. Ooh. Twitch, okay, that's a good answer. No. We don't want a multi-dimensional baby. Oh, 2 people said Lucifer on Netflix. I have not heard of that. I assume it's about the son of the devil. I really should stop pushing Netflix, because more of you are going to try it, like Evil Vice President just implied, and then you're going to forget about Twitch. Both kind of equally bad, because we only have Spirit Hearts again. But this time we have damage. I have a bunch of stuff marked on Netflix, it's just picking and choosing. I'm trying to pick stuff that won't take me long to get through, and then deliberately looking there for things to distract me from the stuff that will take me a long time to get through, like Breaking Bad. Oh yeah, I saw there's a new version of Carmen Sandiego. I didn't watch anything about it, but I let the pictures play by just hovering over it on the main menu of Netflix, being like, oh, I didn't know they were making a new version of Carmen Sandiego. It looks like it's about like Carmen Sandiego is a supervillain and there's like kung fu and stuff. Carmen Sandiego was an excuse to teach geography to children. It wasn't about kung fu super agents. Also, I distinctly remember at least 1 or 2 times where Carmen Sandiego saved the main characters because they kept on almost dying while chasing her. She just liked the chase, that's all. There was a great Windows 3.1 Carmen Sandiego game I had. You would think, given how much I played it, that my knowledge of geography would not be as piss poor as it is, but no, I learned nothing. I never successfully caught Carmen Sandiego in that without cheating. Thank you, Unknown, for the bits. You take these bits, and please apologise for your comments about Canada, even though they may be true. And if you don't, I may continue to sub and give bits, I may not, but I most likely will. See, that's what I mean. It's like punching a kitten. It's about Carmen Sandiego stealing from thieves that want to harm others. Yeah, that's not what I remember her being like in the original cartoon, but I suppose they have to change these things, don't they? I like the original cartoon. I think it had a badass title theme, but I don't remember it. Eden's Blessing? Puree. Puree is good, it's just I always get it and Eden's Blessing mixed up. Eden's Blessing has the stem, that's the part it's called. You know, the thing from Evil Within. It has the brain computer you hook up to and die. Yeah, I remember like Where on Earth is Carmen Sandiego, I just don't remember the melody. I'll have to find it after the stream now. I don't think it was on the game I played because it could barely fit on a disc anyway. So it didn't have much music. Trinket Smelter is... yeah, you know what? This could be the run. We'll consume Petrified Poop. And now I want all the trinkets, which means we'll get none. but I can hold out a little bit of hope. Holding out for a hero is what I meant to say. Oh, I have a 40k question, but you know how 40k stuff is. It makes people roll their eyes and kind of glaze over and then fall back in their chair and get a headwind and then they sue me. But I did have a 40k question. And it's a question, not a topic of conversation. Ghost Baby and Duality. We'll take Duality and maybe have a little look at some angel deals. Why? Because... I don't know, we just will. Oh, the reason I'm firing so fast is we have the blue aura currently, so it's dropped my tier rate to 2. Before that we had the damage aura. What is the question? I bought, because I was buying some data cards so I could use some actual stratagems when I do the live tabletop games. At the same time as buying those data cards, I got a box of Necron, I think they're called Praetorians, but I got them to be the guys with the swords and shields. But it's like a multi-part box, so they can either be the Praetorians, which are like spear guys, I think. They can be the... what are they called? I've forgotten what the shield guys are called, but they can be the guys with sword and board shields that give them an invulnerable save. Or they can have scythes, and I know what you're thinking, why would you not go for the scythes? The scythes don't look like scythes. That's why. So I'm asking, what is the best option out of them? Because I was originally just going to make the sword and shield, because the scythes don't look like scythes. I could be convinced to make the Praetorians. Lichguard, that's the one. Yep, that's the word I was blanking on. Thank you. Yeah, so Lichguard or Praetorians? Well, the sword and board gives them a 4+ invo, yeah, but they're always, at the end of the day, they're just a toughness 4 1 wound model, though. It seems a little bit expensive for something that has a 5+ chance to come back anyway. Although I guess it gives you an extra kind of save. Sword and shield. I like that one of them's doing the edgy thing of holding their sword upside down. Are the Praetorians not considered competitive? I don't even know what they do because I haven't looked into them at all. Oh, the toughness 5, well, same difference, 1 wound either way. It's like giving a combat shield to an assault marine. It's a 6+ invo when he's a 1 wound 4 toughness. Back in the day, I don't even know if that's still a thing. Because I've never used assault marines. That was lucky. Alright, sword and shield. I was most looking forward to painting the sword and shields. I'm 90% done with the other Necron Overlord I have out of the starter set for Necrons. I've just got to wait for the base to set and then do the rim of the base and it's done. In fact, yeah, it was getting there. I got one of those fantastic base texture paints that Games Workshop do where you plop it on in lumps and then it dries to look like cracked stone and it looks great. I'm surprised at how good it looks. Then I just stick on a couple of bushes. Oh, Valinar's back. Everybody stop talking about Warhammer. Although I don't have much else to talk about, chat, so I guess we can kind of like take some questions. It's a problem with doing multiple runs. I exhaust everything in the first one. See, I really want that. Never mind.
2 of hearts.
2 of hearts. Talk about Batman. My comics for this month haven't arrived, so I've got nothing new Batman-wise to talk about. I will, just not yet. I mean, I painted some more of the miniatures, but that was Sunday or Saturday I did that, and I posted a picture on Twitter already. Talk about old Batman? Do you mean Adam West, or do you mean like The Dark Knight Returns? Adam West was wonderful. I miss him. Batman in his 90s, so Dark Knight Returns then. we need to save that kind of conversation for Monster Hunter when nobody's around to see me embrace my less seen nerdy side. What are my thoughts about the Dark Souls board game? I like it. I imagine it'd get a little repetitive if you just have to keep on resting and redoing. Yeah, the way it handles stuff is pretty fun. I like the way it does the boss AI. Is this a double floor? Yeah. Tell by the weird layout. I mean, I guess I could have told if I just paid attention at the start of the floor, but you can't expect me to do something ridiculous like pay attention. Not while playing Isaac. Of course you want to know what's in the loot deck. You're a loot magpie. We could technically do more of that tonight. I'm not opposed to it. Kind of stuck for what else to do. It's very annoying having a chronic pain condition. I imagine there's worse, so I don't want to take anything away from anybody who is suffering worse than me, but it's very hard to, like, function, and I find it very frustrating. So I was sitting around today while watching that heavy duty rescue thing. I was like, there's so many better things I could have been doing right now, and I just couldn't muster the energy because I was just sitting there sore. It's like I could go do the dishes, I could go clean my kitchen table, I could paint miniatures, I could go record a 40k battle report, and I couldn't muster the energy. I suppose it didn't help that it was snowing outside and it's bloody freezing, but I just like not finding the energy to do anything. It's okay to have a lazy day, but that wasn't what I was looking for. I usually plan out a bunch of stuff I want to get done on my days off. Away from the PC. I try and stay off the PC as much as possible. Although that said, I did play more Final Fantasy XIV, just a little bit. Only a little bit, though. Infestation. Shame it's not Infestation 2, but... Infestation. We haven't seen Infestation in 4 Souls yet. Also, for anyone watching this on YouTube, I highly encourage you to give 4 Souls a chance. Yes, it's a card game, yes, it's in Tabletop Simulator, but it's Isaac. It is a roguelike competitive card game, and it's really good. The matches, the games, whatever word you want to use, they all feel different. It's very, very good. You can be devious, you can be generous. What is that? Walnut. Well, the walnut is part of me now. Hello, Rakalth. What level am I now? Well, no, see, that's an unfair thing if I was just to list the level, because I only got to, like, level 20? No, not even 20. I was, like, level 18. And I got to, like, level 15 on stream, right? And keeping in mind little blue levels fast, that's not really that much. But then I started killing enemies quite a bit higher level than me, and I got high enough that I could go learn 1,000 Needles. Once you learn 1,000 Needles, even if you're leveling solo, it just speeds up much quicker than it would be in a group, because you just walk up to an enemy, cast 1,000 Needles, and I haven't found an enemy yet that doesn't die in one hit. At level... I think I'm up to level 28. 28, 29. So just walk up to something, start casting. Don't even need to engage and start the fight. You just need to start casting next to them. 1,000 Needles, boom, they're dead. And that'll probably last until like level 35. And even then, if they start surviving 1,000 Needles, just quickly cast one other spell and they're dead. And you get like 8,000 XP. Oh hey, Valinor just confirmed about level 35. I knew it. See, I have a feel for these things. The most important thing is I learned the blue magic that lets me spit fish at people. So I'm feeling pretty powerful. You don't know true power until you can expel an entire fish from your face into an enemy and silence them for 1 second. And then cast self-destruct and do no damage. Since the tabletop stuff seems to be well liked, have I considered doing something like D&D sometime? I have not. That's the honest answer. I was going to lie to you and say, yes, sure, I've considered that. No, I haven't. I put no consideration into that whatsoever. I'm all for games where you roll dice and things happen. I don't want to have pretend conversations at the same time. So honestly, something more akin to like Hero Quest, where that's essentially D&D without the role playing, that I'm okay with. I played Hero Quest when I was a kid. I know for a fact it's in Tabletop Sim, because I found it. Hello, Monster 2. I'm sorry, I forgot to say hello to you when the fight started. I said it in hushed tones. Hello, Monster 2. What is that again? A luck up and a range up. Okay. Sadly, I only got one trinket on the floor, so off we go. It's Blue Mom, the hard one. Oh, look, I actually made it to a mom fight as Eden. That's rare these days. That head stayed alive a long time. Bam, 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 bam. You sound like the poo from Conker's Bad Fur Day. There we go. There we go. Why are you all being DMs or GMs? Sympathizers. They get to put their fetishes into a game and force people to play them. I fail to see what is so hard for them. Back when I read /TG, because I followed it for 40k leaks, there was a thread every other month of like, so your DMs decided to put their fetish in your campaign. Tell us about it. And I had so much fun reading those threads. Well, it's a bit different to that guy threads. I associate that guy with being like rules lawyery, like basically Valinar. That kind of thing. I wouldn't associate that with being that guy. You're the resident GM DM for your local group. Okay, well, what fetish have you forced your friends to live through? You can be honest with us, there's nobody listening. Oh, I was looking at chat and almost got exploded. I'm waiting for an answer, look. Okay, so Valinar would put succubi everywhere. It's very honest. Also, didn't I take duality? Why didn't I get the option for an angel dealer? Or was I blind and just didn't walk into it? No fetish, but as you work in an arcade, you had them kill off a bunch of kids. That is pretty dark. Yeah, not the younglings. Nah. We have deep Isaac voice because we had 3 puberty pills. Brr. I've had quite enough of floors where I can't see my HP. I think we're okay, but I don't like not seeing it. A room full of blasticists. I'd still rather be here than a Dungeons and Dragons game. It's okay to make fun of people who play D&D. They won't fight back, it's like punching a kitten. I keep on making all these punching a kitten similes, and yet Puncher of Kittens has not shown up tonight. I keep waiting for it to happen perfectly with expert timing, and it hasn't. Because they'd understand, and if they didn't, who else would? Oh yeah, they changed puberty so it gives you +1 HP if you take 3 of them. And you get Deep Isaac voice. Because he hit puberty. It only took 3 pills. I think it's the same voice you get if you use like the nail or anything that turns you into demon form. Paralysis. Skull X. You suck in 4 souls and you suck in this. Although you're not nearly as hard to kill as Little Horn is. Who, as we all know, is one of the toughest bosses in the game. Please, stick your goddamn tail up. I despise you. He hasn't stuck his tail up once yet. Oh, finally. PTSD intensifies. Oh, finally duality kicked in. Hey, it's good. Didn't mean to take the Eternal Heart. Whoops. That's okay, who needs temporary invincibility every time you're hit? Oh, those are pretty big, I like that. Those are some big diamonds. I'm being slightly generous referring to them as diamonds. Little bit of a flashing screen warning when those big diamonds explode. Hello, always Casey Jones. No, we were talking about Puncher of Kittens. The only other person present who would truly understand what it's like to make fun of a Canadian. Hello, beggar. Don't know, I just had a feeling there might be in there. I guess I could spend my money on him, but I could also explode him. Everybody gets one. So I think this run is going to go the distance, chat, which means we need another talking point before I dig a hole any deeper and get another rare dislike from someone in Canada who can't take a joke. So what shall we talk about for the last 10 minutes or so of the run? Dinner? No, I don't want to talk about what I had for dinner tonight because it might upset people. Mrr. Oh, Curse of the Maze. I upset people because of the lack of cooking involved, not because of anything bad. Now I have to tell you. Well, also keep in mind I was after something bland because I have a sore stomach, okay? I had a microwavable pouch of jasmine pre-cooked rice, and I mixed in some ready-to-eat peri-peri chicken that I also heated up in the microwave for a couple of minutes. And it was fine. Fartoom! Wait a minute. I didn't take my smeller. unsubbed. Oops. Well, now we are getting a few trinkets, but they're all not very handy. Chat, I was this close to just eating the rice. You don't understand. I wanted something bland but filling. Then I saw I had the pre-cooked chicken that I was going to just put on a roll or something. I was like, oh, I wonder how that would be mixed in. And it was fine. And Lieutenant Rocks, second secret room probably here. You were hoping I ate rabbit or something. I don't think eating rabbit is controversial. Unless the rabbit had myxomatosis. No deal. Eating only rabbit will kill you, yes. I've not tried any probiotics yet, no. The only stuff I have for treatment is the anti-stomach spasm stuff I got from the doctor. Which for whatever reason I opted not to take today, because I thought, well, if it's feelings of nausea as well, maybe it's just that I've got the cold or something. Because I've been sneezing a lot as well. Even though nausea is one of the potential side effects of IBS, god damn it. Your lunch was giant crumpets. And here you are making fun of my microwave jasmine rice. I really like jasmine rice. It's sticky and easy to eat and not that particularly bad for you compared to other rice. Let's see, there you go. Look like some microwaved jasmine rice as well. What I need to find is something better to mix it with, though. Oh, we have super magnet now. What's your guilty pleasure food, chat? Wait, no, the thing you just love to eat that you know that's terrible for you? I think we're meaning more like the thing that's very strange, because I have an answer to that as well. It's something I ate when I was a kid, fairly often, that I think is slightly weird. What's my answer to that? I have done it at least once since moving into this house as well, for the record. You buy some slices of meat, like ham, whatever. Buy some coleslaw, spread coleslaw like butter in the ham, roll it up like a taco and eat it. I used to have 3 of them on a plate when I was a kid. There's nothing wrong with that. Why is everything exploding now? What have I done to myself that's doing that? Or is it poop that's exploding now because of blasting? Oh, that's what it is. That's a dish somewhere? You mean I accidentally invented a dish that exists? I have the power. I bet they don't use the nice coleslaw I use, though, or have used more recently. I discovered a great brand of coleslaw made by a Scottish company. It's wonderful. Boom. Melted cheese was an answer to the rice upgrade? No, I'm trying to like cut out cheese like as much as I possibly can now. I've been doing pretty well in that regard, for the record. I think I've had soft cheese spread over something, and that's about it. I haven't had any pizza since the new year. I haven't bought just like chunks of edible cheese or slices of anything or grated cheese. It has forced me to change up the meals I buy because a lot of them had cheese in them, but... Ow. Almost flawless. Yeah, I was thinking of something along the lines of a sauce to add in, a curry sauce or something like that. Oh, you know what? I have had a Subway. I've had one Subway. But they don't put much cheese on when you ask for the slices. And for context, I ate a lot of cheese before. I don't know if I want... Why not? Your guilty pleasure is sliced mozzarella. I used to buy bags of grated mozzarella and just had a handful now and then. I haven't noticed like any positive effects on my IBS since cutting out most of the cheese I ate, but I'm still hoping it helps in some way. Huh. Turned the empty red chest into a half heart. Good grief. When we don't have the speed aura, we're at 0.48. It's another free item. Or nope, never mind. If it was super great, it would have been. Your guilty pleasure food is pizza and beer. Yep, those are both things that are bad for you, unfortunately. Well, unfortunately in the regards to pizza. So that's going to void that. Give us some range and shot speed. It's not particularly great, but that's alright. Haven't seen very many black runes so far. Oh wait, now we know the map. Aha. We're heading the right way. This is almost over. Chat, please stop talking about all the amazing things you like eating cheese with, or methods with cheese. It's cruel. Not sure if improvement or not. Ugh, I know what isn't an improvement, a room with 3 pins. Peeps, I mean, sorry. 3 pins would have been just fine. Give me the speed aura, please. Is Switch chat talking about food? Yes. Yes it is. Blatantly. With a disregard for the law. You look like a really old zombie. We've got a slightly green palishness to us that ain't human. I'm amazed none of that hit me. It must have been the fly. Flawless victory? Flawless victory. If you ignore the run that I died and holding R for like 10 after that. Thank you, Mostly Dead Zombie, for the bits to see us out on.
Ooh.
Add every type of cheese to the auto mod list. Don't tempt me. For those watching on YouTube, come watch us on Twitch. Things are much nicer over here. But thank you for watching on YouTube if you did, and ta for now.